Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Dr. Varkis Ophthalmology Tutorials. Today we will start with electroretinogram, that is ERG. I will be discussing this topic under the headings of introduction, what are the indications for ERG, how you should prepare the patient for ERG, which are all the electrodes used in ERG, what is the procedure, factors which influence the ERG, and about the waves of the ERG, then reporting and analysis of the ERG. So I may be dividing this complete video into two parts so that half of will be discussed in this video. Okay. So ERG was first recorded by Devar in 1877. ERG provides the objective measure of the electrical activity of the retina, which is evoked by flash of light. So it objectively measures the electrical activity which is happening in the retina, and it is a non-invasive procedure and can be done under physiological conditions. Moving on to the indications of ERG, it can be divided into those which are associated with the photoreceptor dysfunction, those which involve the inner layer of the retina, and those conditions which involve the macula leading to macular dystrophy. The photoreceptor dysfunction, ERG can be done for retinitis pigmentosa cases, cone dystrophies, rod monochromatism, as well as Leber's congenital amaurosis. Whereas inner retina, that is congenital stationary night blindness, retinal vein occlusion, retinal artery occlusion, ophthalmic artery occlusion, and cancer-associated retinopathy. In case of macular dystrophy, it is indicated in cases of Stargardt's disease, fundus flavi maculatus, Best's vitelliform dystrophy, and pattern dystrophy, as well as in cases of drug toxicity. So these are the main indications for ERG. Coming to patient preparation for ERG, avoid any fundus photo or fundus autofluorescence or FFA, any type of illumination to the fundus at least 30 minutes before to the ERG procedure. Then pupil should be maximally dilated. There is no need to correct the refractive errors. Minimum of 20 minutes of dark adaptation is needed if you are planning for dark adapted ERG, and minimum of 10 minutes of light adaptation is required if you are planning for light adapted ERG. And whenever you are going for the light adapted ERG, go for the low intensity light first before going to the high intensity light. And finally, the patient should be asked or instructed to look at the object steadily, because the ocular movements can influence the ERG outcome. This is how the patient should be prepared for ERG. So coming to the electrodes which are used for ERG, we have active electrodes, the reference electrodes, as well as the ground electrode. In the active electrode, it can be the contact type, which is in contact with cornea, or it can be non-contact type. In the contact, we have again the Burian Allen or the BA type of electrode. Then we have jet electrode. In the non-contact, we have two types again. We have Dawson-Crick-Lipskov electrode, or HKL loop and gold foil electrode. This Burian Allen or the BA type is not affected by the ocular movements, and here the electrode itself acts as the active electrode, and the speculum which is used to place this electrode acts as a reference electrode. And the jet electrode is a unipolar disposable type of electrode. Here the gold plated plastic at the circumference acts as the active electrode, and a separate gold cup is needed for the reference electrode. Whenever you are using these contact types of electrodes, protect the cornea either by using lubricating eye drops or non-viscous, non-irritating type of conductive solutions. And the reference electrodes are additional when you are using the unipolar type of electrodes. They are usually placed at the outer canthus of the eye. And the gold cup electrodes are usually used as the ground electrodes. Okay. So this is about the types of electrodes used, that is active electrode, reference electrodes, and ground electrodes. So the active electrode can be either contact type or the non-contact type. In the contact we have BA type jet electrode. In the non-contact we have these two. Then we have reference electrodes and the ground electrodes. Okay. So where these electrodes are placed, as I told, if you are using the contact type of electrodes, we are placing it over the cornea. And you are using non-contact type of electrode, it can be placed over the skin of the conjunctiva. And the reference electrodes are usually placed at the outer canthus of the eye or ear or the forehead. Okay. So this is how we use the electrodes in ERG. So how we record the ERG, that is the procedure of ERG. In case of full field ERG, so I have discussed what are the types of ERG in my previous video. You can check in the previous video about the introduction part of the electrophysiological tests. So here a uniform, diffuse, evenly illuminated white background is used, which has the illumination of 17 to 34 candles per milliliter square, which is done with an integrated sphere on the dome, which is called as Gans field. Okay, so this is the standard background on which the ERG is done. So after this, the patient is given flashes of light with a varying intensity, with a varying illumination, and the varying duration of time depending upon ISCV guidelines. So what is ISCV? It is International Society for Clinical Electrophysiology of the Vision. So they have given the guidelines for the dark adapted ERG as well as the light adapted ERG. Accordingly, the patient is given stimulus of flashlight of varying intensity, illumination as well as the duration. Okay, so this is the procedure of ERG. In this video, I have covered about the introduction, indications for ERG, how you prepare the patient for ERG, which are all the electrodes used in ERG, and the procedure for ERG. In the next video, we will discuss about other readings of ERG. So hope this video on ERG is helpful to all of you. If you like my videos, please do subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon for further notification. Please do like and share my videos. Thank you so much.